It was a big story last week when Tony Khan had that infamous picture leaked, quote unquote leaked, of him and Shane McMahon having a private meeting at a airport conference room of some kind, I believe. And rumors immediately started running wild, brother. By the way, I just had a huge sneezing attack before I hit the record button. So if you see my face like do any weird like bewitched twitches or anything, I'm not on meth, not today. So that's what it is. So just bear with me here. But everybody went wild with the rumor of Shane McMahon to AEW confirmed. What does it mean? What's he going to be doing there? Is he going back for a match? Is he going back just to be part of All In? Is he going to help contribute to be an advisor of some kind? What's the deal, bro? Well, speaking of bro, there was one idea that popped up that I honestly had never even given any thought to. I did a whole video on Shane McMahon to AEW confirmed and, went over the possibilities of what it could mean and what I would like to see and everything. Never once did I think of or did it even cross my mind that it might be a play to buy in to AEW and not only buy in to AEW, but that there was someone else in the room just outside of frame of that picture that was not seen and was not leaked to the public. A man by the name of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. God damn it. And of course, if this sounds like a conspiracy theory, it's because it probably is. And because it's coming from the bro man himself. I'm talking about the head creative influence in charge of the Attitude Era and the death of WCW, Mr. Vince Russo. Check out this clip.
Vince, I know you're probably going to think I'm nuts, but I'm going to say it anyhow. There was a third member in that room that nobody saw.
Third man?
There was a third man in that room that no one saw. And his name, personally, I believe, was Vince McMahon. I don't think that by chance that, Shane shows up over to talk with Tony Khan and there wasn't maybe a little push from Dad somehow, some way, because Vince, to me, is a very vengeful person. If you piss him off, he's going to come after you, and I can see him doing this.
You are the only one backing me. Mac, I've been saying this from day one, and everybody thinks I'm crazy. Mac, let me tell you when it happened. I'll tell you exactly when it happened. And EC3 knows this because I've been saying this for 2 months. Mac, I knew it when I saw it. WrestleMania.
Yes.
When Triple H went out there and said it is the Paul Levesque era, and the next night his wife went out there, it's the Paul Levesque era. No mention of the guy who started WrestleMania. No mention that there wouldn't be a WrestleMania if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. Her father totally kicked him to the curb. I watched that night. And I said, bro, Vince is home watching this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's watching his family giving him the finger.
Yes, Mac, you are 100% correct. See, people don't know this, Mac. I was connected to the guy's hip for 3 years. Bro, there's nobody more vindictive than this guy.
Yes.
No, nobody. And people think Shane McMahon is going to AEW to wrestle Darby Allin. No, bro. Vince is buying the company.
So I'm going to say that this is mostly preposterous, but not out of the question. Vince McMahon has a shit ton of money to throw around all of a sudden, and he's not going to be able to spend it on NDAs and paying off whores and whatever else Vince McMahon likes to do. There's no amount of raw meat steak burrito wraps with ketchup or gym memberships or whatever the fuck. I don't even know what Vince McMahon likes to do in his personal time. Where is he spending all this money other than his lawsuits and shit like that? Reasonably, one would assume he's looking to invest this money somewhere. Where might that be? Now, I don't believe AEW is up for sale. Maybe they're open for business. I know Tony Khan had, flirted with the idea that he may or may not be, giving a piece of AEW to Warner Brothers Discovery, at least while he's working there, while he's on their channels and stuff. Maybe he is open to other investors. And God damn it, what if one of those other investors was Vince McMahon? Maybe it wasn't Vince. Maybe it's Vince through Shane. Maybe Shane is offering to buy into AEW, I would not expect Vince McMahon to try to get back into the wrestling business. Especially with a lesser company than WWE. I would expect him to try to get back into WWE, but I wouldn't expect him to try to buy their competition just to get back into the wrestling business. He spent so much of his time in WWE trying to not be the wrestling business that I can't imagine that if he had to do it all over again and could invest in anything he wants, that he would choose the number 2 wrestling company, a far number 2, by the way. But Vince Russo seems to hang his hat on, I spent years around this guy every single day, and I have never met a more petty man in my life. He would absolutely spend every waking moment trying to figure out how to get back either in control of WWE, or if he can't, how to get back at WWE and take them down. Or at least take them down a few pegs. Obviously, nothing in the world would ever allow AEW to take down WWE. At least not right now in its current form. But that's an interesting thing to chew on, at least, right? I mean, it's a conspiracy theory, but it's an interesting one to play around with. Because we do know Vince is petty. We do know he doesn't hold grudges to the point where I'm never going to let you wrestle here again. Everybody always came back to WWE, except for Macho Man. But he would always find a way to stick it to them once they were back, right? Either with polka dots or throwing them in dumpsters or, garbage trucks or whatever the fuck he was doing. He found a way to kind of stick it to the people that wronged him in one way or another. The McMahons buying into AEW would certainly be a way to kick WWE in the balls, especially if they were able to somehow bring in, if they were able to negotiate a better contract with Warner Brothers or get a new TV deal somewhere else through Vince's already connections that he has. I mean, attaching the McMahon name to a wrestling company. We're starting a new one now. Theoretically, it's a possibility. And it's fun to think about. But I don't think this is happening. Tony Khan's not going to let his company go. This is what he does for fun. He may want, an outside investor or something to, add 10% or so. Rumors are that Warner Brothers Discovery have up to 30% of the company. That still leaves Tony Khan with controlling interest. He's not going to give that up. This is his company. He wants to run it. He wants to book it. He wants to do everything. He's certainly going to clash with a McMahon's theory of how to run a wrestling company. AEW was the exact antithesis of a Vince McMahon wrestling promotion. That's why it was able to get off the ground and do so well for the first 3 years or so that, before Vince had to step down. So this is not going to happen, but this is a very fun theory to think about. I mean, Shane McMahon did meet with Tony Khan. There was a meeting between McMahons and Khans. A McMahon and a Khan. What does that mean, though? Shane was always a performer. He was not a guy that ran the company or anything like that. He was never even being groomed to be the guy to run the company. It was always Stephanie. So that's not to say Shane doesn't know a lot and can't contribute a lot. But I just don't think it's a matter of them buying into AEW. I can't imagine they would want to buy into AEW unless he is so fueled by rage and anger and vengeance and wanting to get even, as Vince Russo would say, that he is the most petty, vengeful guy. I mean, this is all he's going to want to do is get back at WWE for screwing him over and pushing him out of his own company. Declaring this the Paul Levesque era, having Stephanie come out and claim this is the Paul Levesque era. I get it. I get what Russo's saying. I just don't think that's the case. But this would be fun. It's an interesting thought exercise. And what would an AEW? I mean, we know what an AEW under Vince McMahon would look like. It would be horrible, and he would ruin it, and no one would care. No one would want to watch. No one would want to support a McMahon product. And that's why this is never going to happen. But fun to think about. And Vince Russo, if nothing else, he's entertaining, right? We can say he's brain dead. We can say bro. He ruined WCW, blah, blah, blah. But these kind of theories make the internet a fun place to hang out. Does it not? It's fun to watch a video and speculate on if Vince McMahon is secretly trying to buy AEW to get revenge on WWE. It's a fun story, but it's not happening. And if it does, I'll eat the hat on my head right here with a bottle of ketchup and mustard or some shit. We'll see. Like the ones like at the hot dog stand where like the red bottle and the mustard, the yellow bottle, and you squeeze them. I don't know. Peace, love, and pizza. I am your boy, Seth Grimes, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bro, thanks for checking out the video. You can find more great videos by hitting the subscribe button. And bro, while you're down there, hit that like button, leave a comment, and all of that other crap. Bro.